The girl pushes her stepmother down the stairs. The maid, who is standing below, quickly comes to her, and the husband also rushes down and helps his wife up. He says to his daughter, "You pushed your mother." The daughter replies, "I didn't push her. She fell down herself." The father says, "I know this must be your doing." The daughter says, "Yes, you always blame me for everything." The father tells the maid to take the girl to her room. The maid takes her away and says to the girl, "She is a cunning woman." The girl replies, "Yes, she has trapped my father in her net." The maid says, "We must find a way to save him," and then leaves. The daughter picks up her mother's photo. The stepmother is watching. Looking at the photo, the girl says, "Mama, I miss you so much, and my father has gone crazy after this cunning woman." She hugs her mother's photo, then puts it down and quickly leaves the room. The stepmother sees this and laughs. The girl goes to her mother's grave. Meanwhile, the father goes to her room and doesn't find her there. He sees his late wife's photo on the table and starts crying. The cunning woman comes and says, "Are you crying?" The husband quickly puts the photo down and says, "No." The wife says, "But I heard you crying." The husband walks away, which makes the cunning woman angry. At her mother's grave, the daughter says, "Mama, I miss you. You left me alone in this world. Nobody at home cares for me." Her father comes running and says, "You came here without telling me?" The daughter replies, "I was missing my mama." The father says, "If you had told me, I would have brought you myself, dear." The daughter hugs her father, and he takes her home. The cunning woman takes off her glasses and says to the maid, "I've noticed you're becoming too sympathetic towards that girl." The maid, scared, replies, "Her father asked me to look after her." The husband arrives, and the cunning woman asks, "Where did my daughter go?" The father replies, "To visit her mother." The daughter pushes the cunning woman and says, "Papa, she's not my mother," and walks away. The husband consoles his cunning wife, saying, "She's still a childish girl." The next day, everyone is eating together when suddenly the husband gets up and leaves. The cunning woman says to the girl, "You're becoming too troublesome for me." The maid secretly records a video. The cunning woman throws away the girl's food, puts on her glasses, and calls her husband. When he comes, she says, "She spilled all my food." The father says to the daughter, "Why did you do this?" The daughter replies, "I didn't do anything, Papa. She's lying." The cunning woman says, "No, she did this deliberately to hurt me." The maid comes forward and says, "I recorded everything you did. You are exposed now." The cunning woman gets up angrily and says, "How dare you do this?" The maid replies, "We wanted to expose your lies to your husband, and today it has been proven." The husband says to the cunning woman, "For your sake, I always blamed my daughter, and you lied to me." The cunning woman replies, "Yes, you deserved it." The husband says, "Pack your things and get out of my sight immediately." The cunning woman shouts, "To hell with all of you," and leaves. The father says to his daughter, "Forgive me, I couldn't understand you." The daughter says, "Thank God we're free from that cunning woman." The maid says, "I'll continue with my work." The man stops her and says, "This is the reward for the kindness you have shown. From today, you'll look after my daughter." The maid thanks both of them. Truthfully, honesty and sincerity are never wasted.